And we are live. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. We have a great show set up for you today. We're going to be covering digital products. We're going to give you a free workshop basically around digital products and how you can start making money as a content creator using that. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors. I'm just setting up camera angle number 2 here, but thank you to our wonderful sponsors, OpusClip, Kajabi, and Streamyard. We're using Streamyard right now to be on YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, X.com, formerly Twitter, Kick.com. I don't think we're on Rumble right now, but we're basically streaming across 6 or 7 platforms in real time because of StreamYard, simplest way to live stream. So thank you to our sponsors. Everyone's going to be linked in the description down below. Oh, and we also are doing all of our repurposing for our live streams and content across social media with our friends over at OpusClip. So we have OpusClip, we have StreamYard, and of course, for your digital product needs, we have Kajabi for your digital product needs, and that's going to be some of what I'm walking you through today. We're going to start with some examples of the digital products. I kind of have a workshop outline for you. We're going to start with examples of digital products and monetization. I want to show you something about scaled platforms here, because a lot of you get overwhelmed. Oh, I got to be everywhere. I got to do everything. One of the reasons I use OpusClip and StreamYard specifically is because there's a workflow for ultimately doing content at scale. And it's a lot easier when you know the tools. And I'm going to give you kind of some workflow examples. And the thing is, this is going to help you with your sales of your digital products. Now, one of the things you need to know about me is that I use Kajabi. I'm also a Kajabi partner. They are sponsoring us. And I've been using them for 6 years. And this is even without, because I know a lot of you are like, oh, online courses this, online courses that. There's nothing wrong with online courses. You just have to actually make good products. However, I currently, as of the making this video right now, am not doing $5.99 and $6.99 online courses. In fact, the main courses we have are like mini courses and workshops, like the Formula for Awesome Videos and our Canva for Creators mini course. And those are $99 courses. So I'm going to show you guys something. I have made $600,000 in 6 years with $99 or less products. If what I was doing the traditional courses and coaching setup, which I also do course coaching, and I do a membership community, awesomecreatoracademy.com. What I'm going to show you here is these will be some real numbers from the dashboard. And if we go into sales, you can see last 30 days of sales. And it breaks down revenue. A lot of it is the membership and a variation of the membership. We have a couple of different versions of the membership. We have monthly and yearly. And then we also have people who are older members, so they pay a different price. So we have a membership, and I believe with the membership that the monthly recurring revenue on that is close to $5,000, I believe, on monthly recurring revenue. So the analytics of that. So this is the all-time sales to just show you this. And this is with $99 products, but also there are other offerings here. You can see here 2 of the offers, the YouTube Starter Kit bundle, which I barely promote right now, and the Brand Deal Starter Kit offer. You can see that those brought in basically $1,000 as $99 products. Sometimes coupons are running that. And the thing is, that's not even these things being at their peak and their prime. So there's opportunity here. And I don't market it as much as I should. It can do much, much more. I've had better months than this, but just gives you an example of what's possible from a money-making standpoint. And that's also just me kind of being transparent with you. You know how we do. You know, I believe in radical transparency. So now, with online courses, when you do sell online courses, which Kajabi lets you do, and I'll make sure that I have my link for Kajabi in the description of the video for you, since they are our sponsor. We'll also make sure you guys get the 12-week creator playbook. That's a free 12-week playbook for being a content creator. We want you to have that. So definitely make sure you're checking out the chat and the links in the description for that. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up, and this I think is also really important, is that if I had online courses priced at $299 and $699, I might be able on just that to make about $250,000 or more a year. And this is just kind of a workflow thing of explaining how that would happen. Because what you need to understand is that if you're going to do digital products, there's a few things we want to know. We're going to cover which digital products you should make and why. We're covering pricing. We're trying to make sure that you all understand how to earn more money with different methods of monetization. And so I think that becomes extremely important. It's why I'm going to make sure here in the description, if you guys refresh, I've added the link for Kajabi if you want a free trial of that in the description. And I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'm going to explain to you how to make this work, because what a lot of people don't do is they don't want to pay up front for anything. Now, there is a way to do that. When you don't want to pay up front for things, you end up in situations because people are like, well, what about just using YouTube or what have you? Because it's free, right? YouTube is free, but it takes 30% on memberships. So if you scaled a business to $10,000 a month and you're doing YouTube channel memberships, well, that $10,000 a month becomes $7,000. You might think, well, that's still more money than I make now, Roberto, and that's still a lot of money. But the issue with that is that before you even get to your expenses and taxes, and I love YouTube, don't get me wrong, I love YouTube, but if you make $10,000 and YouTube takes 30%, now you're at $7,000. And now you're also going to have to do taxes. Now, taxes are probably going to end up being another 20, 30% after your expenses. But let's say you had expenses. So let's say for whatever reason, maybe it's you had someone on your team that you had to pay part-time, just part-time, to make that $10,000. Let's say you had to pay $1,000 to make $10,000. YouTube takes 30%. You're now down to $7,000. You had to pay somebody $1,000. You're now down to $6,000. And now that $6,000, you have to pay, let's just say it's 20% in taxes on that. So now you're down to $4,800 out of your $10,000. That's how business works, ladies and gentlemen, even an online business. Now, that doesn't sound as appealing, right? The reason I pay for things like Kajabi, the reason I pay for things, because yes, even though they're a sponsor, I still pay for it. The reason I pay for these things is what I'd rather do is if I'm going to have $100,000 business, I'd like to keep as much of it as possible. So instead of saying, okay, I'll go to a zero cost platform like YouTube where no matter how much money I make, they're going to get a cut. I'd rather go to a service where I just pay a flat fee and I build the price of doing business into my cost. That way, instead of someone taking 20%, 30% off the top off rip, I'm going to keep as much as I can on the back end. And then I and my team are the only ones who have to divvy up money at that point. So the thing is, that's about your pricing margins. And that's why I would rather pay for something like Kajabi. Now, not everyone's in that position right up. They're like, Roberto, well, I need something zero because I'm right off rip. Nope. Here's what I did. I'm going to tell you the secret with the digital product stuff. If you're going to go in the education side, if you're not doing entertainment, if you're doing education side, which is probably where you are if you're doing digital products, the way you'll want to go and the way you want to get around this is when I started, if you price your coaching calls so that your first 1 to 2 coaching calls pays for your first 1 to 2 months of using the service, then before you build your digital product downloads or your courses, you have a way to make money because you're doing coaching calls. So you do either 30-minute, 60-minute, 90-minute calls, and you do that. So now before you ever set up your private membership website to make money from members, before you ever set up a digital product, before you ever set up an online course, the thing you can make money off of is the coaching calls, the one-on-one coaching calls. That's a cash flow sale. It's easy to make cash flow. So now you're not worried about, oh, will I be able to pay for this? What if I have a down month? Because you'll always be able to get 1 to 2 calls. If you can't get 1 to 2 calls, then you probably can't do digital download sales. You probably can't do memberships. You probably can't do courses if you can't even close calls for coaching at a price that pays for your platform. So that's my hack. My hack for you is if you do a 30-day free trial on something, and then you do the coaching calls, like again, you do a 30-day free trial at Kajabi, you set the price for your coaching calls so that 1 or 2 of them pays for 1 or 2 months. Your cost is now built into an easy way for you to make money. Now you have like 60 or 90 days to concentrate on building a digital product or a membership group and marketing it and get your first orders, get your first sales. And then you're going to keep being able to do that. And now you have a money-making engine. You own all of it. They can't deplatform you. They can't demonetize you because you own the whole thing and you're not giving up 55% or 30% of your revenue anymore. So that's the solution. That's the answer. Own everything outright. Own everything outright. Keep all the money. And so what I'm going to show you, because like I said, once you cover expenses, taxes, and splitting money with a platform, your money gets cut in half if you don't do what I'm saying. So the thing is, you'd rather keep close to all of your money instead of getting it cut down to half by the time you deal with expenses and taxes. Now, in terms of subscription metrics, like from the membership thing, and we did a free workshop on memberships for you guys too. So here you can see where this is nearly 5,000 in monthly recurring revenue. So these are members of the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group. You can go to awesomecreatoracademy.com to learn more about that. But as you can see here, this is almost $5,000 a month in recurring revenue. Now, I want you to imagine that if this was like a YouTube product or YouTube channel memberships and YouTube was taking 30% of this. So if I put in that math, if I put in $4,870 and then YouTube, if they were taking 30%, then I'd be losing a significant amount of revenue here. So what I'd get to keep is $3,409. Now that still would be a good, healthy monthly paycheck to be getting, but giving up 30% of your business, it's a lot. And like I said, if you have expenses against that, even if your expenses are 10% of the business, well, at $3,409, well, then that means now instead of making almost $5,000 a month, I'd be making $3,000 a month, and then I'd still have to pay taxes on that $3,000. So let's say they take 20% of that. That means what I really made is instead of almost making $5,000, I made something much closer to $2,400. So like I said, if I have to have YouTube take 30%, it basically by the time you pay expenses and taxes, assuming your expenses are 10%, you end up left with 50% from where you started. That's what nobody tells you. That's what nobody talks about. That's where no one's transparent with you. That's why I encourage you to go the route of trying to own as much of your actual creator business as you can, diversify in as many areas as you can, because think about it. This is money I make that is not YouTube AdSense revenue, but still shows up throughout the month. And the thing is, it's better than showing up throughout the month because it's cash flow, because I get paid on individual days. I get cash flow on individual days. So this trickles into my bank account. Same thing with all of my digital products. So from a digital product standpoint, I have a bunch of different digital product offers. I'm going to try to see, let's go to where it says offers here in Kajabi. And Kajabi is the system that I'm using. We're going to go to the part where it says offers. And what you're going to see here is things like quantities sold and revenue generated. So with the membership is probably the thing I think that's probably generated the most money is collectively is memberships. And so that's monthly recurring revenue. Individual coaching calls over the years have done well, of course. The brand deal starter kit has done well. That is a $99 product. We've done $21,000 in revenue on that. There's some things I haven't launched yet that are in here in the back end. The YouTube starter kit, $100,000 on that. That's a $99 product. We've sold 1,600 of that. And then we have some new products that we've launched. We have people who've done the yearly version of the membership. So membership disproportionately wins. We have $9 products. And the thing is, we've gotten to a point to where with the ChatGPT creator prompts, that's done $3,000, and that's a $9 product. So we've done volume on that. Creator starter pack, we haven't done as much money. We've done about half the money on that. So again, volume matters. And those are brand new products at $9. So there's other things that I have planned that haven't launched yet, but you get the idea here. So the thing is, pricing your products, having products that are evergreen, having products that are passive income products. Don't let someone tell you that passive income isn't real, because the maintenance on these products is very low, and the maintenance could be outsourced. You could outsource the maintenance. So once you have help, once you have a digital product, maintaining your digital product, you can update your digital product once a year, twice a year. But the updates to that digital product could be something you outsource to a freelancer or a member of your team, and then you are reducing the amount of time that you spend on doing something, and you still have a passive income engine that exists, very much similar to merch and print on demand, because again, what's the maintenance cost of doing print on demand? Passive income does exist. Digital products are one of the best cash flow systems for being able to actually make real passive income. Memberships can be, but my membership's 2 live office hours, so it's not passive. I have to work for the memberships in that case. However, what I will tell you is, aside from the pro group, in the future, I'm going to have something that is product-based only, not community-based only, that will be a subscription. And the thing is, that one will probably be something like a low-ticket subscription, believe it or not. Once I have a $9 product only, not access to me, product only, no live membership community, but access to a members forum and access to a digital product library, when that product exists, that'll be a recurring monthly $9 a month, $99 a year membership. I know that I can scale that to 1,000 users. That's a $9,000 a month monthly recurring revenue. That thing is a 6-figure a year product by itself when I set that up. But to do that, I'm building out micro products that make it worth it for people, because we have the $9 micro products now, so people can get a taste of, well, what at that price, what do I get? And also can make it a no-brainer offer. And that's part of what you would need to do. Now, when it comes to products like the YouTube Starter Kit, I made that a no-brainer offer as well. And you're going to kind of get a sense of how that all works. So when it comes to digital products and building your own platform, I'm going to show you like what I'm doing with Awesome Creator Academy. So when people go to my website, I built my website using Kajabi. So again, I'm showing you how I did everything in a workshop. This is a zero code required website because of Kajabi. Even though I am a web designer, graphic designer, I used placeit.net to make some of my graphics. I did a lot of stuff in Photoshop and then brought in placeit.net. And then I made the mock-ups for my products. So what I did was my membership offers you access to all my digital products. Not everyone's going to do that. Right now, we do that at $59 a month, and we do our 2 office hours calls. And we tell you, okay, here's what that is. Now, eventually, in June, new people who haven't signed up right now, like we're still in March, April, like by the end of June, the new members, they're going to have to do $99 a month, and we're going to grandfather everyone in who was already 59. So we won't upcharge our new members, but we won't upcharge our old members, but we will move the price point for our new members. And that's going to be more consistent with the fact that we're going to have more products, more value, more things. But I have the YouTube Starter Kit. That's a $99 product. And so then I have my one-on-one coaching. So we also had a variety of products. But then I'll show you the $9 products that I did in a minute. But I built out this website. I was able to build the whole thing with no-code tools. And this is actually fairly easy to do. And then between Canva and placeit.net, you can make all of your graphics. So got my testimonials down here. Then I also have stuff where, do a coaching call, blah, blah, blah. And then at the top, we have the courses and offers here, which goes to like basically a store page where we show everything. But then we have this here for one-on-one coaching. And then we price my different coaching packages for people. for a one-on-one call. So they have those options. They have FAQs. They have everything they need. And this is what I mean about you can set up your coaching calls to pay for the cost of your web hosting and your whole system. All of your costs can be covered with one coaching call when you set up your business. So that's how you would kind of do that, especially with wanting to make back the money on the 30-day free trial. So you do that. You can even have like, you know, a video that advertises and markets your thing. So this is your landing page. Okay. Now back over here in the storefront page, this is where we have all of our offers. I did a pricing ladder where we have $99 offers is kind of our anchored pricing for value. And that's our sweet spot. So we have, right now we have roughly 5 products that are $99. I'm working on another one because we have a replay of a workshop. We have a live training, but then we could do the replays at $9. We can repurpose. So what I do, I created 3 entry-level products because I give so much free value already that are $9. So you have a low-risk digital offer, and we're going to get into how to build your digital offers, but this is the kind of thing I recommend. You have a single-digit offer. It could be $7, could be $9. You have a single-digit offer, and you make multiple single-digit offers. When people buy these, they can also do an order bump at checkout, and then they can get one of the other offers as well and just go, hey, do you want to add this to your cart? And they're like, you know what, why not? So all of a sudden, you have enough single-digit offers to get a double-digit offer out of them. So that's one of the things you do, okay? Pricing ladder plus price anchoring. You have double-digit offers, $99 offers. So what do? You have an order bump at the end that says add to cart. Do you want to add this additional offer to cart? And then you can get people from a double-digit offer to doing 3 figures with you because they go from $99 to $198 by buying another offer. Or you could also do a bundled discount to where, okay, buy one, get one half off, and then you go from $99 to $149. So you got from a double-digit offer to a 3-digit offer. So that's how you could do that. And then so on and so forth, and you can see how it goes. So you build a pricing ladder. You build a pricing ladder where you have multiple offers at single-digit, double-digit, triple-digit, and then, of course, you create your 4-digit offer as your high-ticket offer. In my case, that's 9 coaching calls with me. So that's how you would do that. And a lot of people don't understand, well, how do I price or what do I price at? So again, you don't have to necessarily go from $9 to $99. Some people will take a step in between and do $29 or $49. Me, I wanted to create kind of these no-brainer leaps. So I wanted to get to that place. Now, the thing that I will have, because my higher ticket offers are for my time. My high ticket offers are for my time, and these are my current prices. These won't always be my prices. When I do my larger courses, they will replace the price point of my current time, and that will also increase the value of access to me for my time to do something with me versus doing something yourself. Now, $99 products for me are done for you products. We've made media kits and email swipe files for you with the Brand Deal Starter Kit. With the YouTube Starter Kit, we've done 100 Photoshop files for you as far as templates. We've written video ideas for you. We've done all these things. So it's a lot of done for you resources is why I sell at $99. Courses are do it yourself. And so that's consolidating information, curating information into the right order. It's continuity is the right order. The curation is the right information is curation. Continuity is the information in the right order. Consolidation is putting it all in one place and making it convenient for you. And that's what a course solves for. The convenience that you can do it on your own time. And you're saying, hey, if I just had all the information in front of me, I can do the work by myself. I just don't want to miss any steps. I want to process. I want to know that I'm taking the right steps and that I have a point of reference if I forget anything. So it's kind of like buying a textbook. It's kind of like when people buy SAT prep guides. Okay. That's what I think the value of a course is. The value of templates is a do-it-yourself resource so you're not intimidated with the cold start problem of blank canvas. I don't know what to write in my emails. That's why swipe files. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a graphic designer. I don't know how to do layout by myself. But if I start with something, I can make it my own. Or, oh, I don't know color combination. So that's why done for you resources is addressing the cold start problem of I don't know what something should even look like or where to begin. Having do-it-yourself courses is, hey, I don't want to feel like I have gaps in my knowledge. And even though I can find stuff online for free, I don't know that I'm finding the information in the right order. I don't have an order of operations for the information. I don't know how to organize the information. I don't know if I'm missing information. So the thing is, courses benefit from, like I said, convenience, consolidation, curation, and continuity. So that's why that's useful, because sorting and organizing and labeling things, as anybody who's ever had to clean their garage knows, is a pain in the butt. And if someone could just organize your garage or organize your office for you, you have entire people who come in and they organize your home for you. Yeah, much more convenient. Having someone do the Cliff Notes version of things for you, much more convenient than doing it yourself. Having someone, hey, I made an organized study notes for you. Here's a complete study guide. You could get information yourself, but that's more practical to save time and frustration sometimes. So that's why that would matter. And it would also dictate that money isn't the biggest problem for you. So when you're selling digital products, what you all need to know about selling and making digital products is, one, solve a specific problem for a specific person. And then the layers of the type of digital products you can sell is, if you sell templates and resources, that's done for you stuff. If you sell courses, it is do it yourself. If you are doing a cohort or a membership, if you're doing a community, a cohort, a membership, then it's we do it together. You're doing it together as a group. Same thing for workshops, by the way. It's all right, we're doing it together as a group. And then if it's one-on-one coaching, it's I'll do it with you. I'll show you these things. I'll hold your hand a little bit more. So these are the levels of and the diversification of the offering. And that's why it solves for a specific learning model. In context, it's kind of like there's some kids, yeah, they can do free stuff because they're already smart. They can go to public school. They're already smart. Some people need a tutor. So the kind of person who needs a tutor, that's the kind of person who needs one-on-one coaching. Some people need a study group or to go to a cram school or to go to a workshop. That's the kind of person who needs a cohort and a community and needs accountability and needs other people around them to be able to work effectively. And that can be valuable because what they need is they need a feedback mechanism, they need encouragement, they need accountability. So they need feedback, encouragement, accountability. That's why you would be part of a group. That's why study groups work. That's why cram school works. That's some of the benefits to some degree of private school. So that's valuable in that way. There are people who, if presented with the information, can do it themselves. That's someone who buys an SAT prep guide. That's somebody who buys study guides, course materials. That's someone who buys Cliff Notes. Okay. So that would be valuable. And like I said, the people who buy templates, that's like someone who buys like flashcards, for example. So when you're positioning, selling your digital products, you need to know the categories of your offers, and then you need to know what the selling proposition is of your offers, and that would help you sell digital products. A lot of you, the reason you can't ever make sales on your digital products is you don't know even what value proposition your products have beyond the outcome. It's not about the outcome, but it's about the process in some cases. So you don't know if your product is a done-for-you product, a do-it-yourself product, or whether it's an offer that is done with you or done together. So you need to know what categorization your product falls under. And I just outlined it for you. You also need to understand that what's the skepticism about digital products? Like I said, if it's an education-based product, you align it to the actual equivalent in the education space. Coaching is tutoring. Templates are basically flashcards and worksheets. Templates are flashcards and worksheets. Coaching is tutoring. Workshops are workshops. Memberships and cohorts are basically boot camps and cram schools and study groups, essentially. That's more or less what the equivalent is of that. And buying a course is like buying an SAT prep guide and study guide. So if you're selling digital products, you got to know what your digital product is, what the framing is of your digital product. And then the specificity of what it accomplishes is it should be something that has a process or an outcome in mind in terms of what you should be improved enough to accomplish. It's not about guaranteeing you an outcome. It's suggesting that you have a better chance of achieving that outcome because of the thing that the resource enables you to do. So that would be the idea. Thank you to Story88 for becoming a YouTube channel member. We got Maggie, the substitute teacher. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. She says, thank you for all you do to educate us. Appreciate you. We have a super sticker from this old Japanese house. Thank you for the 1,000 yen. I guess that's close to $10 American. Creighton TV, $9.99 super chat says, Roberto, what's one key lesson you've learned about pricing digital products for maximum success? Thank you for your help. God bless. One thing I would say about positioning them for maximum success is you should qualify your digital product as to who it is for and who it is not for, what it does accomplish and what it doesn't accomplish. So there's no misunderstandings. I feel that I can be a good example of this because I have a less than 1% lifetime refund rate. So I feel that when people don't understand what my product does, it's largely their fault because I went through a lot of trial and error and did a lot of FAQs in my landing pages. And that's like, in terms of making good landing pages, I can show you some of my landing pages so that you get a sense of that and why they are the way that they are. But the thing that I think I do well and that you can do well that I would say is a huge lesson on the pricing is making it a no-brainer deal on the pricing. And so I'll show you what that can look like. So a no-brainer deal on the pricing, what does that look like? Let's use the YouTube Starter Kit and the landing page for that as an example. So the YouTube Starter Kit. This should probably be level up your YouTube channel instead of power up. So I'll update that. What do I offer? Lifetime login access and the ultimate YouTube Starter Kit. So it's $99. Well, what do you get? 100 Photoshop files? Wait a minute. That's $1 a piece. 100 Photoshop files? Wait a minute. Oh, wait. 100 free font list with direct download links? I don't have to hunt for fonts? Oh, that's a resource. Sign me up. 100 video ideas? Sign me up. 20 title formulas? Sign me up. Oh, this guide, this guide, this guide, this guide? Okay. You offer 10 things, 10 categories of things for $100. And, oh, snap. Like, the first thing that catches my eye is the no-brainer deal on, 100 plus Photoshop files for $99. Sign me up. No-brainer deal. So there's just too much value for the price. Value is what you get. Price is what you pay. So overwhelming value is what leads to price being competitive. Overwhelming value. And so you can see that I explain the value of everything you get, and I design the landing page effectively. So when you want to do digital products, it has to be a no-brainer offer. It has to be a no-brainer offer of, this is too cheap. I'd be stupid not to buy this for what it is. You want people to feel like if it does 1/10 of what it says it has, I underpaid. I got too much value. It's underpriced. So you have to get people to the point to where you're offering so much value that it's almost criminal to ask for a discount. You want people to almost feel bad and then feel excited because then, by the way, now you're not selling one product. If you've done this smart, you have a product ecosystem and they're buying another product and another product and another product. Not because you're constantly upselling, but because you're just offering more value and they don't want to be someone who doesn't have that thing because the experience of the first thing is so good. Like how you do one thing is how you do everything. If the experience of the first thing is so good that are like, yeah, like, let me get another one. I mean, you want a really good example of this? I keep buying Samsung portable drives. I keep buying them. Can't get enough of them. I'm like collecting these things like they're bloody like trading cards. I got these things littered all over the place. because the amount of space that I get, the speed that I get, the file storage, the fact that I can work on them from my laptop like it was a hard drive in my computer, it's too good. And so I just keep buying them. I just keep buying them. And I just keep filling them up because just can't get enough. Like, so it's just that good of a product. You want people to have that experience of your products. You want good products. You want great products that people are like, okay, the next time you make a product that does something and fulfills the need I have to have it. I'll buy it. I'll pay. Tell me how much it is. That's what you want from people. One of the ways you get that and prove that, though, is by making really good free content. And that free content, I think, can come in a lot of forms. It can come in the form of a podcast, come in the form of YouTube videos, come in the form of short form, come in the form of live streams. It could also be the content in your email list. So I think it could also be a free course so that they get an experience from you that says, yep, person knows what they're talking about, person curates good information, consolidates the information, and orders it properly, feel really good about this resource. So again, putting people in a position to where you've mitigated the risk of handing you money is ideal. By mitigating the risk that comes from them paying you money and then wondering, am I going to get what I paid for or more? You want to try to mitigate as much of that risk from them. If they're able to get really good stuff from you and they've paid $0, I tell you, primary example, a lot of you have bought my $9 products because you got so much value out of free. You would buy it just to say thank you anyway. Then you got it and realized how good it was. And then you bought the other $9 products. That wasn't an accident. That happened that way. So the thing is, you would want to plan a scenario where you're delivering so much free value that people can't help but want the paid offers and the paid value that you're creating. And then once they commit to that, you have to put them in a position to where it's not possible that they regret it. And then that's also how you get referrals and word of mouth. And so this is incredibly powerful. And this is how you have irresistible and competitive offers. And then that's what's going to lead to repeat customers and sales, because that's what you really want. So if I show you the back end of my Kajabi system, I'm going to show you a part in, it's not in analytics, it's going to be under contacts. There's going to be a part, is it under contacts or is it under marketing? No, it's under contacts. Under contacts, there's a thing called insights. I want to show you something. So in the lifetime of my backend, we've had 3,337 customers. Now, my goal is to eventually get to 10,000 customers in the next 3 years. I want to have 10,000 customers next 3 years. It's one of the reasons why I'm also introducing the low ticket offer. The low ticket offers are also to help shore up those numbers, to have more one-time customers, because on a long enough timeline with enough customers, and by increasing the number of new customers in 30 days and the activity in 30 days, the goal would be to be able to get to a point to where consistently it's 100 new customers every 30 days, or something like that, or at least within a year. The goal is to get to higher than that, because the goal is to get to a point of having 500 to 1,000 new customers in a 90-day period, let's say. If we can do that, then we can get, to higher numbers. If we can't, then the goal would be to do maybe 1,500 to 2,000 new customers in a year. If we can do that by scaling the reach of our products, which is, again, something you have to consider, then we can start to get to a higher number of transactions per customer. And so with a higher number of transactions per customer, we create higher lifetime value, which means that the goal is to have 10,000 customers that have spent between $100 and $1,000 with you. If you have 10,000 customers that have spent between $100 and $1,000 with you, that is a significantly successful business, because if you have 10,000 people and they've spent at least $100 with you, that's $1 million business. If you have 10,000 people and you ever get to a point to where they spend $500 with you and it's 10,000 people, you've built a you've built a $5 million lifetime business. Now, the thing is, the goal is not to get to that overnight. The goal is to get to that within 5 to 10 years within your business if you're taking it crazy, crazy serious. If you're taking it crazy, crazy serious, then in 5 to 10 years, you want 10,000 customers. You want every customer to have spent somewhere between $100, $500, and $1,000 with you. You want to make that as easy as possible to happen over a decade-long relationship. This is called LTV, lifetime value. So you want that over 5 to 10 years. And so if you can get to even 500 LTV with 10,000 people, whether you do it in 5 years or 10 years, my trajectory is 10 years, then that's 5 million in gross revenue. Now, remember, we already talked about how expenses, cost, and taxation happens. You're not going to have 5 million sitting in your bank account, most likely. The most likely scenario that happens in that case is maybe that gets you to 1 or 2 million in theory. In theory. It's most likely that you spend a lot of that growing the business, maintaining the business, scaling the business. You'll pay 40% cumulatively of it in taxes for sure, which already brings you down to half. And then you have expenses. So like I said, the best case scenario means that you end up netting. You can gross 5 million. You would net maybe 2 million. And out of netting that, you probably only kept 1 million, which is still not bad. But that's still you having to get to 10,000 customers in 5 to 10 years. You have to live off of that money and survive your brand 5 to 10 years to get to that scenario. So that's the truth about what people don't tell you about the expenses, the cost margin, customer acquisition, cost per acquisition, cost of maintenance, and then what is a business worth. So whatever someone's lifetime gross revenue is, their actual best case scenario is whatever their gross revenue is, they only ever kept 20% of it. After everything was all said and done, whatever gross income someone made, lifetime top value, most of the time when it's all said and done, and I'm talking expenses, I'm talking living, I'm talking taxes, I'm talking payroll, software, hardware, all of it. What sits in their bank account balance is usually 20% of whatever the gross lifetime earnings was at best. It's 10 to 20%. That is not something most people are willing to share and to tell you and to break down the math of. So that's how it usually typically will play out. That's why customer acquisition is important. Having the pricing model and pricing ladders down is important, and really understanding the back end of your business. It's also, by the way, why you want of the people who end up touching your email list and stuff like that, you want a high number of those people to convert in terms of overall traffic. So that is also something you want to take into consideration. So in the last 30 days, we had $8,000 and we had 55 transactions. So if we go and we look at something like the page views, these won't be website hits, I don't believe, total. It will be page views. I don't know how theoretically accurate this is in terms of global website traffic versus individual page views. But if we go off of this, in the same 30-day period, we had almost, let's just round it and say we had 50,000 total page views, and we converted over 50 customers. So when we do some simple math here, that means that we converted 0.1% of our traffic, if I'm not mistaken, into transactions, which is not terrible. That's about right for like the fact that they have to drill down into basically 2 web pages because they have to get to a checkout page in order to buy something. So if we go off of this, actually, is it 1% or is it? Yeah, it's 0.1%. So it'll be 0.1% of traffic turns into full-on conversions purely off of a website visit. That's pretty normal when it's all said and done, because that's not like a 1% off of advertising, because right now we're not doing a bunch of advertising. We're not doing any, I don't think. So that means that let's say you got to a place to where what you wanted was 100 new customers a month at a minimum. That means probably getting 100,000 visits to your website per month. But you're probably not just going to get those website visits just from people searching for you or doing anything. So you're going to have to drive traffic to that somehow. I'm doing that organically with social media. So the thing is, to get 50 to 100,000 website visits from social media, you have to be really good at getting people to go from website, social media, search engine, whatever it is, to your actual website and being able to click on those things. Now, if I go off of offer views, meaning people who got to the individual offer page, or if I go to landing page views, this conversion rate is much, much higher when we think about that. So it depends on how you're measuring the direct traffic. So if we go off of the fact that we had, let's round it up to 1,000, we got 1,000 views, and we turned 1,000 views into 50 customers. Sorry, not 1,000 views, 10,000 views. I'm sorry, 10,000 views, and we turned that into 50 customers. We actually did good. We had a 0.5% conversion rate if we're talking about landing page traffic versus website traffic overall, because I think a lot of these are from free blog posts and things like that. So what that tells us is that for the landing page conversions, we're actually doing really good. We're doing really strong. That could be better. We would want more. But the thing is, if we direct more people to landing pages that sell our offers, then our conversion rate becomes very high. And if we actually go off of just people who got to the checkout page, our checkout page conversion rate is crazy high based on the fact that 2,600 people, we'll just round it down to 2,500. 2,500 people got to our offer page. So guess what? We got a 1-to-4 ratio here. We got a 1-out-of-4 ratio here. But then out of 2,000 people, we sold 50 of them. So actually, we did really well, all things considered, when we talk about true conversion rates. So that's actually abnormally high in the funnel, all things considered. We're doing actually relatively very well. So the thing is, we just need more traffic to scale these numbers. That's why being a content creator becomes important, because it's about creating the top of funnel for your website to turn casual viewers of your social media content into people who are interested in the offers that you have, then turning them into people who love those offers, become customers. Then you turn those happy one-time customers into two-time customers, into three-time customers, or even to paying subscription members. And the reason we know all of that matters is because to generate on subscriptions with even just less than 100 true fans doing that, we get to almost 5,000 recurring revenue with 90 active subscriptions. So just under 1,000 people. We have 150 seats in the pro group membership, but we have 90 of those seats filled. So we're still a good ways off from capacity. You guys are definitely welcome to join. But that generates 5,000 in recurring revenue. So then in a scaled model where we're doing even more traffic, and even with the little bit of traffic that it seems like we are doing, just remember, it doesn't take a huge amount of people for us to have a nearly $10,000 a month. And it only takes one outlier coaching client to do a big commitment of doing like a 9 coaching call package, let's say, to nearly double this revenue. If we even get one of those, which could happen, actually it could happen this week, all of a sudden we could double our overall potential revenue. So, and then by the way, this is the actual purchase numbers in 30 days. We actually did 100 transactions, but we only did 55 individual people, which means we had a lot of people do more than one purchase. So we had some people purchase 2 items at a time because of order bumps, which is actually really good, which is why you want to have small ticket items where people can double dip. So let's move to a couple of questions for a minute and answer some more questions, because I think I covered actually a lot of ground on pricing. I think I covered a lot of ground on systems. And I think I covered some of your questions about scale. So let's chat up a little bit. Lone Wolf and Cub Kung Fu says, hey, Roberto, do you think 20K subs is too soon to sell t-shirts through your YouTube channel? Not at all. For physical products like t-shirts and merchandise, I think you can definitely start selling t-shirt and merchandise even at 1,000 subscribers. I think that at 1,000 subscribers, my goal would be, from a merchandise standpoint, to sell 5 of my pieces of merchandise a month would be my realistic sales goal when I have like 1,000 subscribers, right? So like at that, because at that point, 1,000 subscribers, selling 1% of your audience is like 10 people. So a reasonable goal at 1,000 subscribers is get 5 people to buy something from you, like a t-shirt, a hat, or a hoodie. Okay. I don't think that's unreasonable at all to go, okay, I can get 1% or 0.5%. So your goal at 1,000 subscribers is, in a month, can I get, like, if I tried really hard, especially like in my community tab, could I get 1 to 5 people to buy something from me? Okay. Like that would be, I think, fine. And so your target goal for that though is also getting like 10,000 views a month as a small creator at that point. So then once you get to like 10K, you're like, okay, can I get like, 50 to 100,000 views per month as a small creator? And then you're basically like, can I get like 10 to 15 sales of my low ticket, thing in a month? And then so on and so forth, just based on traffic you're generating and traffic you're peeling off from YouTube. And again, I think the community tab is the best way to do a lot of that promotion as a content creator. Because like I said, I'm teaching this for content creators. So even with physical products, that'd be what you would expect in terms of a conversion rate. And I think you should set daily, weekly, monthly sales goals. So I think that'd be helpful. Sister Kamala, 1999 super chat. Thank you. Appreciate you. Abaddon Smith says, gonna have to catch the replay, but this was good stuff since I walked in. Thanks, Abaddon. Appreciate you. We're going to go to the chat for some of your live questions here. So let's see. Trying to backtrack to a question from this person here. I always wonder what one's path to success entails. I'm on the fence between continuing to work for someone else and going off my own, leaning toward the latter. Okay, so when you're trying to figure out working for someone else versus working for yourself, I'm going to tell you a weird, off the cuff, out of pocket philosophy I have. I think before you decide to quit your job and work for yourself, I think you should think about what working for yourself is going to look like. And I would say you should quit your job and then work for someone that's like the person you want to become. So I would say quit your job, and before you go build your own business and do everything, before you go all in, because you could side hustle all you want. Before you go all in on trying to do something by yourself, work for somebody that's very close to being the person you wish you were. And then basically become their apprentice so that you have the opportunity to learn almost exactly verbatim what you need to do and what you need to become to be successful. So that's what I would say is that instead of quitting your job to go work for yourself, maybe sometimes taking an intermediate step of saying, let me go work for someone who is self-made and is an entrepreneur that I would wish to become, that has an enviable situation and is in the position that I would trade places with. So let me go work for someone I would trade places with. And let me go do that for like even 1 or 2 years and learn and study and experiment with things on their dime and know that it's going to work. And then if you're successful working under someone that is where you want to be, you have a very higher chance, you have a higher probability of being able to successfully duplicate that success because you've helped them and you've learned from them and you contributed to their success. That means you could probably build your own. And so that's the opportunity that I think a lot of people miss, and they just like go, I hate this. I don't want to work for anyone ever again. And so then I think that there's a missed opportunity for some people to have more safety and security by side hustling and delaying that, but work for somebody else, not someone who would be your competitor, but somebody that's in a similar scope of, hey, if I had this person's skill set, I can apply that to my venture, my business. So it's like, so I would learn from someone that has the skill set that you want and has succeeded in that skill set. And I'd go work for them for 1 or 2 years first and still build up on the side, and then learn the ins and outs, and then learn how to contribute to helping someone like them. Because then I also know, crap, I'm going to have to hire someone like me as well to help me in the way that I help them. And I'm going to know what that looks like. I'm going to know what that's worth. I'm going to know how hard the job is. So I'm going to have a good vibe there. So I think that that becomes a practical intermediate step. I think that that's wise. I also think that you can learn that way by working with clients too. If you do go on your own, I believe in going to client services. And that's why I told you guys, even with a digital product like I'm showing you here, that if you go and you lead with some kind of service-based component, you turn the service into a product. So now you decouple it from time to make money. And then that's how that then becomes passive income. So really solid question. Astatine85 says, I've never heard of order bumps, but I get caught on those all the time on Temu and Amazon, etc. Yep, all the time. Astatine85 says, also, why do the live show to so few of your subscribers? What makes it worth your time to do them? E.g., it shows 93 watching, but 611K subs. 93K watching on YouTube. That's not counting everybody watching on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, and kick.com. So the thing is, it might show 93 watching on YouTube. I have almost 400 people watching across all platforms. So you guys don't see the back end. You guys only see YouTube. Remember, you guys only see YouTube. And again, you guys are also thinking about AdSense. You guys are thinking about AdSense. So what makes this worth my time? Almost every time I do one of these live streams, I end up getting 1 to 2 new coaching calls and 1 to 2 new members of Awesome Creator Academy that either sign up for a yearly or monthly membership. Every time I do a live stream on the back end, I make $1,000 to $2,000 every time I do a live stream. I grow my email list where I own the relationship and YouTube doesn't by about 50 to 100 new people on my email list for my newsletter subscription. 50 to 100 new relationships every single live stream that YouTube doesn't own and control the access to. Because YouTube's, you set yourself, YouTube's algorithm has this many people doing like 100 people or whatever from youtube.com on my live stream, even though I have all these subscribers. YouTube doesn't notify all 600,000 of my people like a newsletter does. YouTube doesn't grant me 100% access to everyone who says they want a relationship with me. That's my entire point. YouTube makes you a digital sharecropper. You don't get 100% access to all of your audience. You don't get the email list. They take 30% on donations that they didn't really play a role in. They take 30% on memberships that they don't play a role in. And the thing they do play a real role in is ad revenue, and they take 45% of that, which is fine. Not complaining about that one at all. But I own 100% of a business outside of YouTube, and I actually... I love YouTube as a platform. I love YouTube. I love my channel. I love that I make some AdSense revenue. AdSense is my smallest income stream. So in terms of what makes it worth it to me, one, I actually like helping, creators. My life at nearly 40 years old doesn't mean that, I would do this for $0 all the time. I do enough $0 stuff on Twitter. Thank you. Like everyone gets to pick my brain for $0 on Twitter. By the way, if you're watching and you don't follow me on Twitter, just go follow me on x.com, formerly Twitter, at Roberto Blake, at about 94,000 followers on Twitter. We're trying to push to 100K followers on Twitter before the end of the year. So help me level up there. And so, boom, there's another opportunity. So, boom, I get to push people to another platform. And even though I don't reach everyone on Twitter, it is also something that people pay attention to when you have 100,000 followers. I'm pretty close at 94K. So the value for me of growing these platforms and doing the content is the value of doing the content is not about how many people are watching live. Because the thing is, even if I got 100,000 views on this live streams, that would impress you guys. But it's like 100,000 views on live stream is good money. Don't get me wrong. And that could still happen in the replays of the live stream when the live stream is valuable enough. However, it's not the absolute value of the live stream. The best potential and monetization of the live stream is our wonderful sponsors, and it's me growing my email list, and it's the direct access to sales for one-on-one coaching or for memberships. Now, currently, because I don't have $506, $100 courses yet, that would be the additional added value that would make probably the most sense from a very practical standpoint. That would be the thing that would make the most sense in the long run, because then it moves me to, what do you call it? It moves me to a recurring passive income model on a very high value evergreen piece of content that can make me money in perpetuity at that point. Now, currently, it's still a great funnel in perpetuity for active products in terms of active income revenue between memberships where we do the live office hours and between one-on-one coaching calls. So it's still valuable in that regard. It's still incredibly valuable in that regard. However, its maximum monetization value is not in views. A lot of you mistake the maximum value being in views. I don't view it that way, because if I were only a YouTuber, I would have to view it that way. If I were a gamer, I would have to view it that way. But as a business owner, it's about qualified leads. It's about qualified leads and qualified sales, and it's about high value conversions. So in terms of what makes it worth my while is that in the worst case scenario, it ends up playing out to be like roughly $500 for me. In the best case scenario, it ends up being $2,000. Or if somebody did a 9-call package, it'd be $6,000. So that potential is worth showing up and doing weekly live streams, easily worth that potential. And the thing is, it's also gotten me relationships that led to larger brand deals or to public speaking, where they fly me out, and then I do a workshop in person. So that's what actually makes it work. Texas guy says, Roberto, how do you create a setup where clients click a link and get a free product? Do you need a website for that? A lot of times you do, but technically you can do this with your email list. But even with your email list, you'll want a domain name for it, aka a .com. So even if you don't build a website per se, you'd be building a web page. You'd be building a landing page. One of the things I like about Kajabi is that I can build, I think, unlimited landing pages with it. I don't need unlimited landing pages. I only need a couple, but you can. And those could even include a free offer for a download that gets people on your email list. You can put them into an automated email sequence where you can keep hitting them up with offers, and where you might convert them off of that and free value from a newsletter. So you have that opportunity. I also have a link to ConvertKit in the description. It's an email marketing software that I use. Now, the thing about ConvertKit is if you get to 10,000 subscribers in ConvertKit, they're now doing a beta where you get into ad revenue in your email list. So now email list can be monetized through ad revenue if you're using ConvertKit, because they do ads. They have a sponsorship network if you're at 10,000 subscribers, and they have a creator network that helps you grow your email list with other newsletters referring and recommending you. So now you're not even growing your email list purely by yourself. You have a referral network. You can monetize it. Besides getting sponsors by yourself, you get a sponsor network, and then you can still monetize with ad revenue. And on top of that, ConvertKit, they're not a sponsor. They should be, but they're an affiliate. They're in the description of the video. That would also let you now start making ad revenue. But the thing is, my issue with creators is too many of you are obsessed with ad revenue. There are better passive income models than ad revenue. And like I told you, I believe one of the best passive income models for revenue that makes more sense is even offering a $9 product. And I'll give you a prime example. I have a great product that you can check out called Creator Blueprints. You get PDF frameworks and systems, because content creators, why are content creators stuck? They do not have systems. So I gave you about, I think 10 or a dozen of the systems we use in Awesome Creator Academy and internally with my team. And we gave it to you for $10. We gave it for $9.99. So we got a $9 product out here, and you're getting over 10 PDFs for $9. And these are PDF frameworks and systems that will help you scale your creator business, give you clarity, and eliminate confusion. $9. If I've ever given you an ounce of value, or you've ever made $1 following my advice, and you want to check me out, and you also want to say thank you, I just linked it in the chat, and it's in the description. So you go to awesomecreatoracademy.com/blueprints. Check out Creator Blueprints. It is $9. We say it's $9.99. It's actually $9 flat, and you can check that out. It's a low-risk product. It's a way to say thank you, and these PDF frameworks will save you time, money, and frustration. One of them would be worth it. We're giving you 10 of them, and we're going to add them. We're going to add to them later, so you're going to get lifetime updates. We're willing to maintain lifetime updates on a $9 product. That's how crazy we are, okay? We're extra like that. So again, I do things that don't make sense on paper all the time. Like the things that I sell for $9, I could sell for $40. That's the point. I do things that sound crazy on paper all the time. Starting a YouTube channel is crazy on paper. And I don't operate like a typical YouTuber. That's the point, is I am trying to not be a digital sharecropper for the rest of my life, where every time I want money, I give up 55% of it or 30% of it. I love YouTube. I don't love giving up 55 and 30%, because I'm going to do that once, and then I'm going to do it again with the IRS afterward. So you know what? I'd like my money to stop getting halved. So I'm trying to stop my money from being halved. So that's kind of like my thesis of, okay, make really good free stuff that people feel guilty about not paying you for because it's so good at a free level. Then make things that they really like, that were good, that they were underpriced. Underpriced. Then they buy more of it, and they keep buying. And when they can afford something more, they buy something more because it's that good, and they've had nothing but good experiences. And then also what you do is, if people don't like something, you make the refunds easy and you just get them out of your hair. The other thing you do is, when you do have people who love what you do, you get testimonials, which is something I was like late to the game on getting testimonials. Now we have 70 testimonials in Trustpilot. I think almost every single person we have a testimonial from is a verified creator that uses their creator name and their real name or whatever, so you can look them up, so they're real reviews. That's the great thing about content creators, is that you actually have real reviews, because everyone's a public figure. So that's actually really convenient now that I think about it. That might not occur to a lot of people, but it's really convenient when all of your reviews are from people who are public figures. So one of the things that I think doesn't get addressed, and that people don't think about, is, okay, well, what's the difference between free and paid products? If everything out in the world is like supposedly free, and everything under the sun is free, how do I get people to pay for things, especially information products? That's why I talk about the categorization. Done for you. Now that's much harder to get people to find things that are done for them for free. And free done for you usually sucks. So the thing is, if you offer something free that's done for you and it's very, very good, people are more likely to want to pay. So that's extremely helpful. So that's proof is in the pudding, and it removes risk, and you de-risk people. So there's done for you. That's categorization. There's not that many done for you things that are free. The other thing is, information that is free is also not specific to you majority of the time. So if you're going to pay for the time for an individual to coach you one-on-one, to give you specific, unique information only about your situation, that's not going to be free. It's going to be really hard to find that for free. So it's actually rare, and that's what makes it valuable. So one-on-one coaching and tutoring is valuable for that. Now, done together, cohorts, workshops, memberships, well, now that's access to a community. That's access to a community. That's access to unique experience. That's access to a network. And by the way, everyone knows that the nightclub you pay to get into is better as far as an experience that is now curated, keeping out the riffraff. Everyone knows the nightclub you pay to get into is better than the nightclub you don't pay to get into. The nightclub with the cover is the better nightclub. We all know that. So that's the thing. I live out here in Atlanta, by the way. So like that's why. But like we all know that to be true. So that's where paid membership communities and access to a quality network of people like you is important. And it's not just about the mentor at that point. Now it's about the network. Now it's about the community that you have access to. And people pay to retain that access. So now what you're selling is access. Access to a high-level community of people that you actually want to be around typically isn't free, especially not in business and education or anything like that. Because remember, even in entertainment, you don't really love being around the people with the $0 cover a lot of the time, if we're being honest. So that would matter. So this is the actual delineation between free and paid experiences that I'm outlining here, at least when it's regard to info-based products. And so then what about the courses, Roberta? What about do-it-yourself courses? The thing about that is, again, it is that you also saved them time, and they're trading money for time because it's now about consolidating the resources. It's about the continuity of the resources, and it's about the curation of the resources, because doing that yourself, if you do it yourself, you're going to have to do it over and over and over and over again. So it's no different than, it's like, you know what? I could save money and I could mow my own lawn, but the opportunity cost to get that result is that I will give up time, experience frustration that I don't want and don't need. I can accomplish this thing by other means called paying money. Same thing with, okay, you could save money and you could clean your house, or you can pay somebody else to do it. So that's the even getting to the information, even sourcing the information. You could do that yourself, but the sourcing of the information is time you're not executing on the information. So sometimes what people want is, again, time might be more to them than money. Tom, what are you doing? I'm just gonna let you say hi. Tom, everybody. Well, you're the one who decided to be in here. Don't complain to me after the fact. All right. He doesn't know what he wants. Typical cat. Anyway. So, yeah, I would say, Tom. So, what I would say, there you go, is that free, the best part about free is the price. The best part about free is the price. Everything else is a matter of what form of convenience are we offering. So the other thing I would say, even with having your own website, is that you control the experience. So as opposed to, like, let's say YouTube, and YouTube has some great features and things like that. So does Patreon. But we don't control the experience. We don't control the branding. We don't have access to the email list. We don't control every piece of the experience within our own brand. So there's a lack of ownership. And at the end of the day, it's a very simple question. Do you want to be an owner, or do you want to be a digital sharecropper? Do you want to be an owner, or do you want to be a digital sharecropper? That's what it is. And so that's why, for me, I think that one of the smartest things to do, is that you scale and monetize every piece of your own digital supply chain. So what do I mean by that? I actually need to draw a diagram around this. I have other things that I have graphics for, but I need to actually explain what a digital supply chain is, but this comes close. This comes very close. So the power of YouTube is you could kind of go the influencer route, or you can kind of go the thought leader route. And this is true for other platforms as well. But I'm going to kind of give you an idea of the supply chain. So for me, my supply chain looks like this. I use a lot of technology, cameras, hardware, and all these things to make the best content that I know how to make. But I also use the affiliate links for all of my hardware and all of my software. And I partner with my sponsors and brands. And I also do affiliate marketing as well for the links for these things. So the thing is, the hardware and software that I use in my supply chain to make content that will also grow my reputation and build my business, I monetize that by being sponsored by the hardware and software and doing affiliate links for the hardware and software. So that's two ways I'm monetizing that component of my digital supply chain. The things I use to make the content, I immediately profit from them by recommending and referring them, either with affiliate links or upfront money through sponsored relationships. So that's part of my supply chain right there. YouTube, when I make content for YouTube, I make money from the YouTube Partner Program through ad revenue. I make money from the ad revenue while live streaming. I make money from the YouTube Premium revenue from premium users while I live stream. I make money from super chats. Thank you for all the super chat donations, channel membership support on exclusive content, and that's direct in platform monetization, as well as the people who do buy the merchandise that's in the merch shelf and in the tagged products. So that's part of the YouTube monetization pipeline there in my digital supply chain. However, I primarily live stream. And in addition to being a Streamyard partner and affiliate, I get the monetization, which will increase and improve on x.com. I do have some monetization on twitch.com. LinkedIn doesn't have monetization currently at the moment. Facebook, I only need the watch hours now. And that number, they're going to probably decrease the watch hours. And again, is it a lot of money? No, but it's not $0. So I'm monetizing across all platforms while actively doing that. So that's part of the supply chain for me of YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. And eventually, even with podcasting, they're going to do audio ad inserts into the podcasting. But through my sponsors, they like that I have podcast numbers for them for the audio stuff. And then because I use OpusClip to repurpose that YouTube content in short form vertical videos to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Some of you will use TikTok. I don't. And so on. So now I have the repurposing aspect of the short form. So that I'm monetizing there as well. But then all of those content platforms have links back to my own product sales, like everything in Awesome Creator Academy, product sales like my book, which also still uses an Amazon affiliate link there. So I double dip on the affiliate link for my book and the actual sales for my book. So we do that. Book has an offer for a free course that then brings them to the awesomecreatoracademy.com website, allowing me to capture them to the email list. Email list is monetized. It's going to have ad revenue. It also has sponsors in my package. Then the email list also has links back to my own products as well as other affiliate links. And so this is what I mean about the fact that I monetize every aspect of my digital supply chain to the best of my ability. This is optimal monetization. So the thing is, again, ad revenue, it's nice to have because it just means that when I do things, I'm not working at $0 guaranteed and then only relying on conversion. And it means that all participation does support and help me to some degree, which I'm grateful for, and that makes perfect sense. I would encourage creators to think about how to monetize all of their digital pipeline and supply chain. And again, that could sound wild, but when you look at it, it makes perfect sense. And this is why by live streaming and multi-streaming, I'm across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 platforms. Eventually, it's going to be 8 platforms in real time, most of which or all of which can be monetized. All right. But even if they aren't, it's my scale of marketing to people where they are in real time and having them be aware of my brand and the ability to support me and buy products from me or services from me or become part of a membership. So the thing is, that's the ownership. And then I'm converting them to the free email list. The free email list. And then the email list means I now have ownership of the relationship. My website also means I have ownership of my assets. My intention eventually is to actually make, like we're working on this. The goal is before the end of this year, we will have 100 videos that are ad-free on my own website, Awesome Creator Academy. We will have 100 videos that are ad-free, not repurposed from YouTube, made exclusive, that are advertising free on the website. And those will be publicly available videos. And why would we do that? Lead generation, because eventually my goal is to be able to get to 10,000 page hits per day, because we already did the math. The 10,000 page hits per day means that we could do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 sales a day. You saw the landing page numbers. So if we can take landing page numbers and say, hey, we're getting 10,000 landing page hits per month out of 50,000 website hits per month, what if we got 10,000 landing page hits a day? So then that scales us to 30, 50 potential customers a day. If we scale to that, we're making crazy amounts of potential money, because at that point on customers, if the average LTV across all products was even coming out to be, let's just say for the sake of argument, $18. Let's just say it was $18 at 50 people per day times 30 days in a month. That's $27,000 a month in revenue if we hit those numbers. And that's at $18 sales per head, $18 sales per customer at 50 customers per day off of 10,000 landing page hits per day, which basically takes our monthly and makes it our daily, scales to $27,000 per month. And that's at $18 sales per head. Now, let's say that we literally got to a place to where let's make believe for a minute that we're not even doing a $699 course, and we're doing a $299 course. And let's make believe that we only did one sale of that per day for 30 days in that scenario. That adds another 8,970 per day to the pipeline if we did that. And that would be if we had that one product at a $299 price point. So now you understand what economies of scale look like. So here's the thing. This is why I've always had the argument. You make more money selling the course than doing the thing. Wait, do you mean that scaled income through leverage out-earns labor? Alert the presses. Call a press conference. Tell the media. Oh my God. Products that have an infinite supply to fulfill demand make more money than limited labor that you can only do from sun up to sundown? I'm shocked, flabbergasted that a machine that can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year without stopping can out-earn a human being that works 40 hours a week? No, it cannot be. So, yeah. Real talk. It's a ridiculous straw man to try to paint people as being off if their product out-earns their labor. It's the entire point of production. Of course it does. And that's also why the richest people in the world are the richest people in the world, because everything they do is an economy of scale. Everything they do is an economy of scale where even if they had 1 million employees and they're paying them all well, the number of customers, if you have 1 million employees, but you have 100 million customers, you can pay everybody really well. You're still going to out earn all of your employees, and it's not going to be close, because even if you had 1 million employees and the value that they create, you only took, if you even only earned 1% of the value of your 1 million employees, you would still out earn any individual employee, because you're talking about scale now. And that's what nobody understands when they speaking about these things. So I've never understood the things that people are arguing for, because they're arguing against math. Because it's all just a mathematical equation at a certain point. It's a formality. It's the fact that people can't execute on that formality. The credit solutionist says, great point. People are quick to label something a scam without applying common sense. Well, applying common sense, but also just applying linear math. If you just literally apply linear math, I'll give you another example. Okay. In linear math, if a machine works for $15 an hour instead of a human, and this is why people have some good concerns and considerations about automation in the workplace and in the workforce and AI. There is some legitimate concerns to the fears around automation and AI. I've been preaching this for 8 years, and I'll tell you the numbers. If a human works for $15 an hour at capacity 40 hours a week, they'll make about $30,000 a year. That's the math. A human being at $15 an hour earns $30,000 a year, 40 hours a week. Okay, that's the math. But a computer, a machine, an AI, an automation, a website, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It won't ask for a raise. It won't call off sick. It won't take a day off. So if that machine has the same earning potential and capacity as a human being, called $15 an hour as a wage, the website out earns the human and earns $134,440 for the year, if I'm not mistaken. I think I memorized that. So $15 an hour times 24 times 365. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. $131,400. I was like, I memorized it slightly wrong. So that means that the difference between a website out earning you at $15 an hour versus you, the human, working 40 hours a week at $15 an hour, because the website's 24/7, the website out earns you by a whole $100,000 a year. That's the difference on scale. That's what an economy of scale is. Labor cannot keep up with the value that technology produces. Labor cannot compete with the value that technology produces. And that would assume a one-to-one comparison between the value of the human for $15 an hour versus the machine at $15 an hour. That's how scale works. Crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. And the thing is, you can have multiple machines. You can have multiple machines. So it's easier to duplicate and replicate machines than it is humans. And they don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't call out sick, they don't ask for a pay bump, they don't file lawsuits. Be concerned or use it. You know, like that's real. That's real. And so the thing is, how do you compete with that? And the answer is you don't. You don't compete with that. So the idea that someone's own skill-based labor can compete with an appliance that they build that creates the same value would be absurd. It's the same reason why YouTube works, by the way. YouTube and social media works effectively because you're building relationships at scale. It'd be hard for me to meet 600,000 people one-on-one if I tried. but I get to be one-on-one in a way with 600,000 people over the course of, because again, I've been at this for a decade. So 600,000 people in a decade would still be me meeting 60,000 people a year. 60,000 people a year would mean I'd have to meet about 1,800 people per day, 1,800 people per day at least once, and convince them of my value. And that's just subscribers. We're not counting views. We're not even counting unique views. We're talking subscribers, which is still wild. So I'd have to meet 1,800 people per day. 1,800 people per day in a reasonable 8-hour day still would mean that I was meeting relatively 220 people, 225 people per hour. So for me to get the subscribers I have over 10 years, I'd have to meet 225 people per hour every single day of my life for 10 years. That's crazy. For 8 hours a day, nothing else. That's crazy. So YouTube gives us attention at scale. And so that's why. So when you're dealing with economies of scale, that always will beat what your capacity to do labor at the same rate would be. No, the AI doesn't file lawsuits, but it can attract lawsuits. It can attract lawsuits, but it doesn't file them. They don't talk back either. Yeah, that's right. Lois Lorena, thank you for the $5 super chat. Is there a difference between the pro group monthly and yearly membership on Awesome Creator Academy? There is no difference currently, and there doesn't plan to be, aside from savings. There's no difference between the things you get in the monthly membership for Awesome Creator Academy and the pro group versus the yearly. Monthly and yearly is just a difference in it shakes out to be less money yearly than if you pay monthly, but that's all just a matter of choice and budget. So the thing is, that's just a matter of budget. That's all that is. So no difference in what you get. Great question. Same great benefits, just a cheaper overall yearly cost. You like saving money? I do as well. Actually, most of my subscriptions at this point, I switched to yearlies on most of my subscriptions, and I'm happier with that. Let's see. Astadine says, what about the model of first instead of better/more, i.e. people use the model to entice membership to get content previews before publishing to the public? So the difference for me this is a great question. The difference between public versus paywalled content. I want to talk about this a little bit. So for me, the difference between public versus paywalled content is the difference between intent of an algorithmically driven audience versus a opt-in audience, let's say, right? So the thing that social media does very well, and its entire point, is algorithmic curation. So the decision of what you even get in front of you is decided by an algorithm. And then, because the system of something like YouTube, the way that we design, package, teach, edit, do everything is with the idea in mind that we have to fight for your attention and fight to retain it, because we're now in an open arena, fighting in an open arena for your attention. That changes the nature and intent of content. However, if you pay to be part of something private and paywalled, you made a choice, and now there is no arena. And so now the way that content is made isn't fighting for every single inch of your attention, because Once you're in your paywalled space, you're not clicking away to watch a Mr. Beast video. You're not clicking away to watch that viral meme or that hot take. So that's the difference, right? And so it's not that I'm saying that every single piece of paywalled content is better than the free content. I'm saying that the way that something is made and crafted ends up being a consequence of where the thing lives. Everything has to fit the environment that it's in. So that means when someone has to worry about YouTube monetization, maybe they make a video 8 minutes that should have been 2 minutes, because there's an incentive to do that for algorithm, watch time, retention. They're thinking about CTR. What a YouTuber makes has to think about so many variables, but what someone with paywalled content or their own private website makes only thinks about one variable, the customer. So the thing is, servicing a customer is different than servicing the general public. And it's a different relationship. It's a different relationship. So the difference of a private, curated, relationship is very different than this public, scaled relationship. And I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying that they have different boundaries. And so there's an understanding that stuff is more generalized as it goes to the public. It's broader, wide net. You could argue that that also means you have to cater more to the culture, taste, preferences, and let's say taste, preferences, and priorities of a much broader group of people, and you will never please everyone. When something's paywalled, the scope of people it has to please is much more narrow, and it's not even close. I think it's easier to cater to 1,000 people that pay for something than 1 million people who didn't. So that would be my philosophical difference on free versus paid content, and the difference between algorithm versus not, because I don't feel I don't actually believe in the concept. I like something that Astatine said. I don't believe in these inclusion models of, oh, let's be inclusive. Actually, no, I believe in exclusivity. I believe in exclusivity because I believe that people deserve catered experiences. That's why I like the concept of nightclub, country club, cram school, private school, because I'm like, okay, boot camp, because I believe in a catered, curated, exclusive, unique experience that's made for a specific group of people, because I believe that communities of people deserve their own unique experiences that don't have to take everyone in consideration. It's for our members. We made this with the directive of our members. We made this with our members in mind. We made this for these people, and this is not for you if you're this. Not everything is for you, and that's okay, because you should have things that cater to your specific unique preferences. You should have things that cater specifically to your availability. You should have things that cater to your priorities. You should have things that cater to your values. You should have unique, curated experiences that truly are for you. And those could be one-to-one, and they could be one-to-some, but they can't be one-to-all. Does that make sense when I say it? I know that that's a very roundabout way of articulating it, but I think it's the most accurate way to articulate it. Sam from Canada. Yeah, with ConvertKit, it's almost like a Dropbox model. You get 1,000 emails, but then payments needed. Here's the catch, though, that you don't think about. In the paid version of it, because you can monetize with your own tip jar, you can monetize with digital products in ConvertKit, and because there's the possibility to earn the ad revenue and to do sponsorship with email, and you can sell your own products, do your own affiliate links, it's easy to cancel out the price built in. Yeah, I agree with you as well, Astatine85. That's why I'm just in defiance of current culture. I'm in defiance of current culture. Current culture is algorithmic. That's why I believe in one-to-one relationships. That's why I believe in email lists, so on and so forth, because then you don't have to cater to being a tastemaker. It's also why I like these live streams. I am fine with whoever shows up to my live streams to get the value, to learn from me, to even become a customer and work with me. I am okay with a smaller, dedicated, curated community of people who can be super fans, and that's fine to me, more so than trying to please and appease everybody. And so that's what I think is valuable. By the way, if you guys are interested in getting Kajabi and building your own products like this, remember that you can use my affiliate link, and this is your one-stop shop for online business. And I'm dropping that in the chat, but it's also in the description as well. And thank you to Kajabi for sponsoring my live stream content and sponsoring my free workshops and everything I do. They're great. And I've been using them for 6 years, and you've seen it. It's a great system, and it makes me a significant amount of money. And so that's great. Gonna do more, hopefully. So I believe that the 1,000 true fans thesis that Mr. Kelly came up with, I think it was Kevin Kelly. I think that that's correct. I think that you can find your own tribe and you can attract them. And I think that it's more practical to say, you know what? I would rather attract my tribe than reach random people. I'd rather attract my tribe than reach random people. I think that's a good mindset approach to it. I think that a lot of people take that aspect for granted. Now, what I want to show you here is we talked about the pricing, we talked about sales. What about developing and building your products? Let's go into something like the back end of Kajabi with the YouTube Starter Kit. Now, like I said, this one isn't a course. It does follow a model similar to that, just as an info product. But the thing is, we have these different things like, all right, getting started. We have your digital downloads. We have these different files. And so if we did a preview of, okay, what is the product? What is what's inside the product? Then it lists the assets. And the thing is, in this case, the assets are downloadable as zip files when you go into them. So I drill down into these, and then it's for the YouTube thumbnails. It's zip files. So then you click on those, and those would be the digital downloads. And then here, it's talking about like, customization, and it's kind of just a brief walkthrough on that. So it's just primary example. So again, they go, oh, there are my 100 downloads. And hey, why didn't it come through in an email? Why do I have to log in? It's like, oh, so crap. Choose Photoshop files are big. Oh, crap. So like, yeah, so people get it. And so that becomes a thing. And then there's other things in the starter kit. And a lot of those are PDFs. And then see, there's multiple PDFs here, multiple PDFs. And then if somebody goes to this, there's a download for that digital PDF that they would get to. So that's just an example of a product. Now, if you end up doing something like, let's look at like the Canva for Creators course, for example. So you end up doing the build out of all of these things in Kajabi. And this is what a video course looks like. I'm going to mute this here. And again, one of the best things you can do if you want to make courses is you can use Streamyard. You can even do screen recording with Streamyard. So that's actually really helpful. And then you can do the voiceovers. And then the other thing you could do is if you want to do a combination of voiceover and screen sharing. If you want to do a combination of voiceover and screen sharing, what you can do is you could use Camtasia, and that would be like really good. So for example, and then this course is done by myself and Andy Rivera. Andy did a lot of the heavy lifting and did a great job with this. But like, let's say you wanted to do something where you had yourself on camera for part of it, and then you wanted to flip back and forth to your screen. One of the easiest ways to do that is using Camtasia, because then you can use a camera like this and then cut back and forth. You can also do that with Streamyard. Streamyard's browser based though, and this could definitely, it could still work out, but if you just want to go ahead and do something on desktop and not worry about your internet connection, then that's where you would use Camtasia. Camtasia is actually really good. So again, those would be examples of things you can do in terms of building out your digital products in Kajabi. And so I think it works out really well. And then on the website design side, it's all no code tools where you customize things with drag and drop. So you don't even have to be a web designer and coder to do all of this. It's all text-based and drag and drop. And then obviously you can make your graphics in Canva, and you can do mockups there, but I also like to use placeit.net for mockups. And then obviously use stock photos. I use Adobe Stock. I use Envato. I use Unsplash. So stuff like that. Pexels. So again, fairly easy and simple to use stuff. They have a creator studio, and it has a lot of good features. And so one of the things it can do is it can actually transcribe your videos, and it can create subtitles as SRT files. So you want that. That's pretty dope. So you can get SRT files from that. You can get outlines. You can get summaries, all with like a click of a button. So again, very dope stuff there. When you create a new project, the thing it'll do is you can either upload a video or link to a video. You can select an existing file in one of your products or courses. And what it can do is it can either make video clips, it can do transcripts or subtitles in different file formats for you. It can also generate text based on the video. It can help you spin up things for your newsletter, blog post, summaries, outlines, things of that nature. And this uses AI tools. I believe the backend AI of this is using ChatGPT as an appliance. It also has, for the video side of stuff, it actually uses Adobe Express. So it uses Adobe Express, and that uses a lot of Adobe Sensei technology. So again, very cool, very convenient. You get a contact list, email marketing tools. You can set up marketing and automations. If you have an app, you can even do push notifications to your app. You set up events for like live workshops. When combined with Streamyard, you can set up scheduled webinar events and embed your video webinars in real time. So very cool. Astatine85 says, have you considered creating a B-School certificate program that you could market across multiple universities, not as a professor, but selling a program to supplement theirs? We will see what that looks like as the universities acknowledge the creator economy space, and we'll see. I'm talking to some friends who have left academia about what that would look like. So I think that's interesting. Asking says, next question. What about algos learning from content creators and copying us at scale? We can distinguish the tech now, but one day we won't be able to distinguish between real and AI creators. Problem for another day. Problem for another day. That is where we get into the uncanny valley of Terminator. I will say this. Another measure that people could be using if they're worried about AI is it's harder, if not impossible, per the terms of service, but also via the technology, for AIs to duplicate the content you do have behind a paywall. The AIs might be able to study your free public content to their heart's content. However, it's against terms of service for them to copy the paywalled content. And if you find out that they do, you can sue them. Robel says, Roberto, I'm going to start streaming in about a week or two. Do you have a course or playlist for new streamers that are obviously mostly focused on streaming? I plan to. A lot of that content lives on the Streamyard YouTube channel and a lot of content from other creators like me. So definitely check out our friends at Streamyard on their YouTube channel. They're at over 100K subscribers now. I need to ask them for a copy of the play button. So yeah, you can learn everything live streaming if you go to the Streamyard YouTube channel. I am going to be doing a streaming for beginners series here as well, linked over to them. So I think that's going to be dope. But yeah, you can learn all things streaming over at the Streamyard YouTube channel, where I also have made content. Yeah. We have Crypto Temi says, Roberto, 4 years ago, I was working 5 jobs and developing a YouTube business. Wow, that sounds rough. Today, I employ 5 people and live my dream. Thank you. You don't know what you've been with me since day one. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That is dope. That's really cool. So yeah, by the way, everybody, this is kind of the new plan is monetization Mondays, workshop Wednesdays, FAQ Fridays. That's the plan. Cadu Ribeiro says, Roberto, Kajabi is a pretty solid platform, but I miss having a free version of it. It would be nice to have something to launch 1 or 2 products, monetize, and then convert to a paid subscription with more leads. So the thing is, they do have a 30-day free trial. You can use my link. You can get the 30-day free trial. So you get a free trial. Here's the thing. I would say monetize with a call that people can pay for. And so you can monetize it and make sure you're covering cost by making sure the first thing you offer in 30 days is set up a landing page that says, hey, get a free call with me. Or not a free call, sorry, get a paid coaching call with me. And then you charge for that. Now the thing pays for itself. So now you have like, oh, okay. So now first month's paid for because I got a call or I got 2 calls, first month's paid for. Now you have 60 days to build a membership, a digital product, or a course and launch it. And then if you get another 2 calls because you're still not ready, 1 or 2 calls. Oh, well, month 3 is paid for. So my plan for people is you lead with building a coaching call that you can charge for so that you ever only have to get 1 or 2 clients a month to pay for the next 1 to 2 months. And then if you have that, then you have the ability to cover cost until you've set up the recurring revenue. So I hope that makes sense. And that would be my pitch to people. So again, get a free trial. And if you approach it my way, then you're not going to have to worry about the cost. I think that's pretty straightforward. I don't understand this question. If you want to do a carpool live stream, I don't know what a carpool is, the only option going live with your phone. If you mean a carpool live stream, if you mean just something where it's live streaming and it's a top-down view of your hands, I don't think you have to use your phone. I think you could use a top-down camera setup, but I don't know what that is. Dave Killer-ish says, hey, Roberto, is this content oriented more towards vetted creators with established bases, or is this more universally applicable digital product advice? I think holistically, it actually works all ways, because the caveat to that is you could always use paid advertising if you haven't built up a massive audience. If you haven't built up a massive or even a relatively large audience as an established creator, the digital product scale model still works with cold leads through advertising if you go ahead and you do something like you stream with Streamyard and you create a recorded webinar, or you set up, you could do a recorded webinar. Now your content becomes a lead magnet, and then you just have to optimize it for search or buy ads to generate traffic or use referrals or something like that. So you don't even have to be a crazy vetted content creator to accomplish this. Obviously, if you build up to that, it does work better, in my opinion, but people have been able to do cold traffic off that. The other thing that works, believe it or not, is I will give you another strategy for digital product sales. It's not the one I'm using yet, but it's the one I plan to use. And then we'll start to wrap up. We'll start to wrap up here, I think, for today, because I've been coaching all day, that a 2-hour stream is probably solid. So what I will tell you is this: there is another model that we can use if we don't have a massive audience, and that's affiliate marketing. Now, before everybody goes, oh my God, affiliate marketing, it makes sense. It's commission sales. So the product model for doing that is this. What you would do, in my opinion, is, let's say it's digital courses. You do a 30% commission on the digital courses, and your pricing is $299 and $699. Why is that? Because 30% of $299 means that everyone who sells the lower end course gets $100. And so on $699, the 30% of that is basically about roughly $200. I think that's, I'm going to check my math again here, because I think that's right. Yeah, $209. So wait a minute, $100, $200, depending on what I sell. Wait a minute. Now you can do 30% of all your other products. It's smaller products. If it's 99, oh, they got $30. But what's more enticing to people? They might do both, but okay, $30, $100, $200. Oh, they're probably going to try hard to push your higher ticket items, but you can still get some trickle sales of the smaller ones. Point being, if you only had 10 affiliates that are actually good, I mean like actually good, right? Let's say you had 10 affiliates that are actually good, and each of those 10 affiliates make $500 for themselves a month, then how much did they make you? Well, if they make $500 for themselves and they're making 30% and you're getting the other 70, then that stands to reason that they basically made you at least $1,000 a piece. And you've got 10 of them. So that's $10,000 a month in commissions. If you have 10 affiliates that make themselves $500 because they're hungry and they're like, yeah, I want to make some passive income. $500 a month is good money for me. Well, if you do a 30%, then it's a 2-to-1 ratio. 30% is a 2-to-1 ratio with the profit splitting. And, you can account for a little bit of cost built in there. So you're probably netting, if they're making 500, you're netting 1,000. And if you're netting 1,000 ahead and you've got 10 good affiliates doing sales, then without you needing an audience, you just solve a really good problem. You make a really good product. Well, they made you $10,000 a month. That's your 6-figure business right there. So then you have to qualify these 10 really good super affiliates that you're doing these 30% commissions for. So who should they be? Well, maybe they should have an audience, and maybe they should have an email list. Maybe they should have an email list so that if they have an email list of 10,000 people and they got you 1% of those people over the course of a lifetime or a year, then they can get you 100 leads. So, they can get you 10 to 100 leads. Worst case scenario, someone with a 10,000 email list is going to get you 10 to 100 leads in a year. They get you 10 to 100 leads in a year, and every lead after commissions is worth anywhere from $200 for you to $400 for you. That's a good amount of money when you have 10 people in that situation. It's all math. So Cadu Ribeiro says, hey, Roberto, my plan is to get emails with ConvertKit free. Then when I get around 100 or more emails, launch a low-ticket digital item on Kajabi on free trial, to pay for at least 3 months of it, and then the sky's the limit. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Remember what I talked about earlier about scale. Having access to multiple people with email list and audience means you're not doing it on your own anymore. So here's the thing. I'd rather give 30% commissions to somebody who has direct access to their own audience with an email list than give 30% to a platform. So I'd rather give 30% commissions on sales to someone who has their own email list and where I get to have my own email list and where I own the customer relationship thereafter. I'd rather give 30% to that person than to a platform where I'm at the mercy of an algorithm. I'd rather have a direct access relationship. That's where that revenue split makes sense. And that's where you can scale. But you're also scaling intentionally now, because now you're not reaching random people. You're reaching qualified leads. So I think that conversation becomes very different when it's qualified leads. Now, the way you grow your email list is with a free offer. An example of a free offer is our 12-week creator playbook that you can get for free right here. So if you get our 12-week creator playbook, it does get you onto my email newsletter, but you also get our 12-week creator playbook. It also opts you into 12 weekly emails that will help you to grow as a content creator, and it's based on the concept of the 12-week year. So sign up for free. Link is in the description. Link's also in the chat. So Astatine85 says, can you keep more of the super chats if you opt in for live stream ads or some other benefit to you for opting into those live stream ads? You don't keep more of the super chats. You just get ad revenue. You just get ad revenue. Oh, and ConvertKit just upgraded the free plan to 3K subs. Nice. So there you go. Even better. And I have a link for ConvertKit in the description if you guys are trying to grow your email list with ConvertKit. It's in the description. I think they bumped it up to 3K subs because with you being in their creator network, your list grows faster because they get you free traffic. So they get you free traffic. That's the other reason I use ConvertKit. And again, when you get to 10,000, you qualify for ad revenue in ConvertKit and for the sponsorship network. So just great ways to monetize with them. If you check out the podcast, I did an interview with the CEO of ConvertKit, Nathan Barry. He started as a graphic designer before he built ConvertKit, multi-million-dollar company. I also did a podcast episode with the CEO of AppSumo, Noah Kagan. And so you can check out that. I actually have plans, we're still working it out, to interview the CEO of Kajabi on my podcast. And yeah, I can drop the link in the chat for ConvertKit as well. So you guys can check that out. Also, remember to check out Creator Blueprints on awesomecreatoracademy.com. But yeah, let's see. Let's get you guys a link for a free trial of ConvertKit. It's in the description, and now it's in the chat. So there you go. Sign up for free with my affiliate link. There you go. Do we have to watch the full ad that pops up while on the live stream in order for you to receive ad revenue? Yeah, YouTube does something called TrueView ads. So even when you guys start marketing your own digital products on YouTube, and you guys should only, if YouTube's doing its job, you should only be seeing these ads like every 20 minutes on a 2-hour stream here. The way I set it up, if YouTube is doing its job properly, you should only be seeing ads every 20 minutes, and it's been a 2-hour stream. So there shouldn't be a bunch of ads if people are mentioning it. But yeah, YouTube does not charge an advertiser any money if people skip an ad. That's why YouTube does so well for advertisers on their budget, because if someone skips an ad, then the advertiser doesn't have to pay. Now, the thing about that is, again, this is where creators don't make as much money as people think, because here's the thing. YouTube ad revenue pays creators at best a penny for every 1 view. And that's the best case scenario. It's usually 1/10 of a penny per view, and that's on regular videos. If you're a shorts creator, it's less than that. So that's the thing with YouTube. That's why I encourage so many of you to sell digital products, build membership websites, build anything that you can, even print on demand products, merchandise, hats, hoodies, posters, multiple streams of income, all the things, multiple platforms, all your income streams on as many platforms, affiliate links, sponsorships, all of it. Because again, I love YouTube. I love ad revenue. I love the YouTube Partner Program. I have nothing against them. However, if you decide to be a digital sharecropper, you are passing over dollars to pick up pennies. Quite literally. Quite literally. But yeah. So I think I answered most of the questions. I think I covered a lot of the things I wanted to cover. We're going to talk about this more in the future. I'm glad you guys got to see the back end of Kajabi. I'm glad you guys got to see a little bit of the behind the scenes inside baseball of business with digital products and systems. You guys got to learn a lot about pricing, and value-based pricing, pricing ladders, price anchoring. If you paid attention, you got to learn about how to approach information products and how to position them and explain them. And so I think that matters. Astatine says, digital sharecropper, do you have an in-depth video about this topic? I'm going to be doing an in-depth video about this, a deep dive on my podcast channel. The podcast is coming back in the end of March, the beginning of April. We have a bunch of interview episodes that we have to drop in the video podcast. The audio podcast already has some stuff. We have a couple of people who are either millionaires or they have 1 million subscribers. That's who we've been interviewing lately. But I'm going to be doing some standalone episodes of the podcast where I talk about concepts like things in the creator economy, like being a digital sharecropper, talk about different business models that exist. I'm going to talk about the potential implications of AI. I'm going to talk about the TikTok ban. So I'm going to have a bunch of solo episodes of the podcast coming soon. We're just working all that stuff out. And I am getting used to this multi-weekly schedule because I did a stream on Monday. We have a stream here on Wednesday. We have another live stream on Friday because that's what we're doing now. So we're doing monetization Mondays, workshop Wednesdays, and then FAQ Fridays. And so you'll definitely want to be a part of it. And so I will try to figure out my podcasting schedule. My podcasting schedule will probably be in the mornings, but I don't think we're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the podcast. I will figure something out. It'll be the mornings. Maybe it's Tuesday, Thursdays. Maybe it's something else. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, absolutely, Dave. No problem. Dave says, part of the reason I'm considering starting a new channel in a different niche is that I'm a gaming entertainment creator. And I remember your tweet about the topic and was very thankful for the breakdown. Absolutely. Let's see. For the podcast, if you want to listen to the podcast on Apple Music, I think that this is the link. I'm going to drop it in the chat. This link that I'm dropping in the chat should get you to the audio podcast on Apple. And that gets you to the podcast. Yep. But yeah, I think that's it for this one, everybody. I want to say thank you to our wonderful sponsors yet again. Kajabi, which sponsored the workshop, showed you the back end of all of that and how you can do it as well. OpusClip, which we're going to be using to repurpose multiple platforms. You can use that to generate short form clips of your videos using AI tools, and it does captioning. And you should check out OpusClip if for no other reason, the fact that it actually has a free captioning tool for you. So very cool. Thank you, OpusClip. And of course, our friends at Streamyard, which is why we can actually stream right now to 6 different platforms at once. We'll be streaming to 8 different platforms very soon. Just working out some details there. But thanks to everybody who tuned in for the live stream. Thank you to everybody who went ahead and did super chats. So really appreciate you guys. I think we have one last question here. Speaking of digital sharecropper, which option in ConvertKit is best in the long run? Income, emails, grow, look around. Start with a free trial, but start to work out for yourself like where you're at and what your goals are. I would base it based on your goals. Anyway, thank you to all of the super chatters. Oh, we got one last super chat. What are your thoughts on shorts for members only? I haven't actually thought about members only short form. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. I just have not thought of it, Shrimply Canadian. I am so used to long form content that it would not have even occurred to me to do members only shorts. That's a really good idea, to be honest with you. Somebody can take advantage of that. That's actually a good one. Thanks for that. But anyway, that's it. Stay awesome. I'll catch you on the next one. We're, of course, going to end the night with the trailer for my book as we close out the live stream. You should be able to find that in Amazon if you want to check out my book. I have a link to that here. I can get you a link to the book before we close out if you're interested in that. There you go. All right, everybody, stay awesome. I will see you back here on Friday for FAQ Fridays. Remember our new schedule: monetization Mondays, workshop Wednesdays, FAQ Fridays. Stay awesome. I finally did it. I finished my book, Create Something Awesome: How Content Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. The book is available now in paperback and in Kindle, where you can read it on any e-reader or device. And I'm really excited about this. The audiobook is coming soon, probably October 2022. Oh my God, it's so great to be able to have this book done, put it up on the bookshelf, and to know that all of you who appreciate it, you want to hear what I have to say about the creator economy, becoming a full-time content creator, and what the experience and lifestyle of being a content creator actually is like. This is the book. I put 20 chapters in here of the most important things I think that content creators could be focusing on today. I talk about the mental health aspect of being a content creator, getting discouraged, imposter syndrome, not charging what you're worth, and mostly actionable advice around monetizing your content properly, but also how to build an audience on your authenticity and what it's really like to start from zero, even today. So if you're interested, make sure you're checking out the book. You can order it on Amazon. You also probably order it in a lot of other places like Barnes & Noble, and it will be coming to other bookstores soon. Really excited about it. Thank you for all the support and love around the book and the positive reviews. Now go ahead and pick it up and make sure you go out there and create something awesome.